massive play.
Cover going out.
Does need to be careful. Are identified though, so FNATIC aware of this push and being forced all the way back. Cron low, the spike managing to escape the grasp of GX.
Question is, do FNATIC want to fight this? Seems to be the case. Paranoia lumped in with the nade.
Yeah, and post around the side, entry for FNATIC, but it's grubinho on the other side who's done the most damage. 4 versus 2. FNATIC were good for clutches yesterday. Might be too much of an ask here.
It's got their 2 top performers, but crashies and Cron. A quick reminder posted, as they will make their way over towards the C site. Spike in transition still, but should go down without trouble.
crashies, Sheriff in hand, knows where the next player's coming from, and unfortunately leaves Cron 1 HP, decayed all the way down. Spike in the back pocket, at the very least, so a chance to escape.
30 seconds
to come
left.
up with a plan.
The macro from GX has always been pretty good. It was the small details which they needed to iron out. It's a quick reaction towards C to stop the play from being made. Already now starting to search on the other side of the map. Cypher setup, Cron has a lot to cross and little time to do it.
That's the problem, right? The delay that the traps can make, but he will be at least able to get that spike down. Still 2 players to find, and well, straight up FNATIC time. Down towards 20 seconds. In the corner, we're seeing GX deposit. There's 3 bodies here. Flickless gets the first. He's the one in the corner, finally gotten out. And FNATIC, they look as if they're falling to the wayside, but as always, they buy themselves out of it. Still need to be careful of Orbit as a player's making his way in. That's grubby. Spike down though, and FNATIC can reset.
FNATIC needing to search for a little bit of extra space here. Post plant on site.
As Grubby's out, but FNATIC straight away deal with any problem.
Cloud has never bested Boaster in a series before.
No way.
And that might be why. Boaster with a very cheeky kill around the Prowler. Grubby doing his best to fill the gap, but that's it. Trades in favour of FNATIC.
And look at this. We speak about how slow FNATIC can be, but when they get a chance to, they're very quick on the mark. On towards the A site they go. 3 bodies strong, but Boaster's hanging around and needs to be careful because Flickless is there. And now we go back to a 3-on-3.
Standout performer in the last game for GX. Now Flick from the Viper will trade pits with Chronicle. The site covered in fumes, choked out. Alpha trying to keep the attention of GX as FNATIC is still not committed to the plant hit.
Still not comfortable, but they've got so much of sight when you actually look at the map. GX finally making the pick up from heaven though. And FNATIC, I think they're looking to leave, eh?
Yeah, reading this as an overcommitment. GX, no reason to give FNATIC what they want and go searching for anything here, as I say that. Side on the edge of the pit, just about spots the shoe of Cron. And then having taken him down, the illusion may soon start to fade. Ara on the B site.
Still on the opportunity, and he'll get the spike denied, leaving Alpha in a 1 versus 3.
Plenty of work for Alpha to do, and just simply not enough time on his watch to do it with.
Prowler's showing his presence known on that C side. And there's Boaster gone.
Big pick from Ara, and so quickly the reaction is made on the FNATIC side. 30 seconds yet again. Crashies making his arrival now on A, but it's double-layered Sentinel utility. The anchor of the Viper with the, Cypher util taken offline. Westside goes down.
Yeah, but Flickless still here. And that spike being down's the only real problem. But you look at kaajak, he has his ultimate.
Cross the lines, but Alpha's still part of this puzzle as well, and with the spike on the other side, it's in no man's land. No way to recover this for Alpha yet. GX should know that the clock has won it. Advantages yesterday, but so far doesn't feel like they've really been in a position where they've had numbers. And again, GX queued up for a FNATIC on A.
Calmness about this defender's side and the way that they're making their decision-making. FNATIC, they've even got to deal with the Viper's pit, and with 50 seconds remaining, they're going to use the lockdown to try and get rid of it. And even look at kaajak, looking for more space up through stairs.
Condemned. Still Flickless hanging around on site. Will get cleared out, and Ara found as well, but Cloud has been on a heater so far.
And he continues to do so, in through drop, and grubinho out of Hobbit door.
the envelope as much as possible. Cron is the hard clip, tries to take the engagement himself. Look at it, a little more forthcoming. Cloud with the flash in, does go down. Grubby looking for a little bit more TP, ambitious, and crashies to cut him loose. Westside, the last tried to go, but been stopped out by GX. The difference this time is there is no Sentinel setup, but Ara is here. And the spam from Grubby will land the next.
Yeah, that spike down on the ground. Where does FNATIC go with this one? It's not as if you can use Boaster's ultimate. He's out of the serve, and look at this. Trying to continue on. Kaajak now through Hobbit, go up, but Flickless is there and up to the challenge.
FNATIC really feeling like they've... Yeah. Something that I mentioned earlier as well, because I think just dealing with this...
He wants this.
This is a glass op from Cron, by the way. He's down to 700 credits. Yeah. Hey, listen, I can't remember whether he picked it up in the previous round or not. I'm going to be completely honest. Either way, it's found the first pick, and FNATIC are on the site now.
Yeah, there they are. Spike down, post plan, but Boaster now with his own picked up from Ara.
I mean, oh my god, if this is the round that FNATIC win, then everything I know about Valorant, gone in an instant. They have just...
You know much about Valorant?
Walked up with the op and said, yeah, you know what, we'll fight you. And against GX, that apparently works, but still 2 on 3. Fancying their chances, the defender's side, flush with cash.
The Odin, though, the spam not working out, and Alpha takes his time in. Cloud now trying to get out of tree, but 3 players trapped. That's the way it's been with FNATIC looking to re-engage, and it'll continue to be that case. But a big pick-up from Kaajak.
My ult is ready.
Gets rid of Ara.
Since going up.
Is there an angle here? It looks to be the case, but Cron better. Trying to get out, does so. Now FNATIC, 2 to the good. So a decision can be made on where this spike wants to go down.
Blake double stacked it with Util, defending position, but Cron continues to fan off this onslaught of GX players that are trying to create problems on the back line. This shot from Boaster opens the door for Westside quite literally. Second shot through will find Cron. 3 on 2.
Oh, you thought there was a timing. The alarm route.
Parisian homecoming. GX ending the half with a little bit of pace.
Oh, they might be ended themselves. GX trying to force the fight. Boaster trying to get out, but it doesn't work out. Cypher utility on the A side to gain that extra information. Now allow for the spike to go down easy enough. But look at FNATIC, look at the space they want to take towards CT. GIANTX trying to show some sort of resistance.
Yeah, all on Alpha to find this next duel, and does. Hit placed inside the site. A retake of increased difficulty for GX.
Nightfall to try and clear out the next couple. Allow Grubby a chance. Vulnerable up though. The players aren't looking, Chronicle does. And now it's up to Cloud. 1 versus 3. Time ticking away. You can't help but expect this to be a FNATIC round. 7-5 identified through Alpha's turret. And exactly get the picks they needed.
Yeah, slow start to the Does this be execution? Paranoia in hand. As the toxic screen goes up, GX start to turn their gaze elsewhere. It's towards Cron, but as those backs turn, Alpha lights them up. Flickless gone.
Brilliant timing as well. But it looks as if GX are looking to just hit in towards C. There's 2 players here. It's crashies and Cron.
Almost a little too straightforward. Into the open arms of Cron. Plenty of damage already done. Standing on his own 2 feet, and with Westside pinned to the corner, he's a dead man. Still Ara overlooked. It gives half a chance on the round, but Grubby has to win his one. And while all of that's going on, the spike has hit the deck, and Ara's nowhere to be seen. The player that we just highlighted needs a big moment to turn this one around.
Boaster's absolutely ran for the hills, giving nothing away to Grubinho. Doesn't want to allow a decent advantage to start to slip. Boaster though, caught in transition, eventually does give that
30
pick.
seconds
left.
So 2 versus 1, FNATIC have controlled the spike, so Grubby should know what he's walking into.
The other way Grubby could have gone would have been through CT, because that was locking off the B main. Door hasn't opened. Double stack FNATIC, and that's going to be the round. So
Bring them down.
that being said, though, still plenty of utility to try and refight this. Kaajak does it completely dry, catches Grubinho, which is a big loss, because when you think of it, GIANTX, when they go to execute, will have to deal with so many hard angles. You think towards B heaven, you think towards C waterfall, A heaven as well.
think about the whole damn map at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many angles on Lotus that you have to try and deal with. Boaster having to deal with the push, and unfortunately for him, leaves crashies all alone.
Solo on site, but he's found his first.
Yeah, and well, the next couple of picks go GX's way as well. Spike down. Cron able to try and get some sort of delay. In fact, no at all. Spike committed. Alpha and a big key 1 versus 1 out of
On the
orbit.
breakable door, he is ready for GX.
Where are you? Face your
Oh,
fear.
but I don't think he wants anything to do with that. Kaajak out of that breakable door has found his pick. So entry, 5 versus 4 for FNATIC to try and convert from, with the spike going down.
As the spike goes down, Cloud has the C's, and that's about all in terms of utility here to fall back on. Very regressive positions through tree, now moving out into grass.
Alpha next up against Flickless, can't win it out. And that's going to be a big pressure relief. That's not an angle that FNATIC can approach from, but at least Cron gets Cloud from stairs. And they go. Looks like FNATIC trying to assault in towards tree. Still the last two. Ara trying to make his reprise, doesn't work out. And Flickless trying to spam. Completely helpless. Thinks better of it. Would rather keep the rights
Ultimate's invested, so plenty to fall back on this shot from Kaajak. Fully through the smoke, took a timing on it. Same can be said of Chronicle. In fact, it feels a little unlucky.
Stopper in his back pocket. This looks pretty straightforward on the C side as GX look to hit into it. Kaajak just not quite finding the fight on B main. Westside winning that out, and Ara caught out as well.
Big kill from Alpha.
Absolutely zero information except for that Cypher cam being shown. Waiting for the Toxins to come back up. That's a big pick. Still FNATIC have ultimates to come back in with if they really need to as well. This is looking like a quick B pivot.
That's perhaps expected, and Grubby's managed to catch the timing on this as well. Cron on site, they exchange looks, but I don't know, did Grubby spot him or not? He's looking to take this a step further either way. Alpha lining up the lockdown, and yeah, Grubby swivels the head back around, looking for Cron now to try and take that fight. He'll lose it, but it ends 2-on-2, and the spike is in the ground.
Not only that, Viper's Pit invested by Flickless. This should be easy enough to close out for GIANTX.
Boaster trying to interrupt the timing. Cron fanning the pit across. The Venn diagram of green circles on site, but
For a retake. And for the lockdown readied as well.
a bit of a preemptive one, but Ara's going to go ahead and chase this. Showstopper with the paint shell still in his back pocket. Plenty of utility damage and a chance to deny it. Chronicle removed from the space, and GX not even going to chase it up. They drop all the way back to sand.
That's because of that lockdown in play, right? And ultimates that FNATIC can use in their favour, which they try to do here. Nightfall in first, as well as the lockdown.
The nade from Ara just to do damage on any players through Waterfall, as FNATIC are swimming upstream into this retake, but the ult's invested, offset the chances. Now looking a bit more favourable. They need to fan out and fight the player's sand. Grubby in the meantime is wrapping around on the flank, but the kills have already been found inside of the choke. Alpha sticking it, a blind spray which won't connect. It matters not. FNATIC have fallen out of this round and out of favour on Lotus, it seems. GX will bring it into play here as well. Alpha has to cross past it, but Westside's already off the board. It's going to be Ara here. Still, GX committed to fighting Rubble.
Are they too committed?
Not wanting to overinvest any utility. We'll focus on Alpha now in the corner.
And he wins the first. Can't quite get the second, but Grubby's so deep. He's looking to try and lock round flank. See if he can find anything, but he doesn't. Cloud holding on. Was only able to find crashies, so in a very weird spot on the map. The fact that Flickless needs to try and get close to Grubby is the big component here.
Yeah, he's had the call from Grubby, though, that the A site should be completely clear, that he can go ahead and plant it. Cloud heard the steps of the push coming in from main, so the rest of the team have adjusted. This late alteration, they still have to pull off the 2 versus 3.
Shots fired forward. Presence in CT identified by Flickless, and he's going to hang around. Hang on, but there's 3 bodies here. Kaajak low as well, and that's the first to go, but Boaster there. And now it's up to Grubinho. Deep in main, and with an option to spam onto the spike. He gets Cron, and it's now up against the captain!
It's because he has Cron in support off his shoulder in the stairwell.
Boaster needs to play his timing to perfection, and he's done it. He's not able to get the second, but Cron is, and the spam goes westside's way of all people. The neural theft identifying crashies, but Kaajak there to support and keeps us in a position that's winnable. It settles in a 1 versus 1. Flickless versus Alpha.
Built in the Spanish Challenger League and now hitting the scene. Flickless! FNATIC with an adaptation. Heavy fight on A. Kaajak caught, but the showstopper flares off and still finds one before getting traded out.
Boaster stuck in the corner, trying to TP away in towards the attack smoke, and is successful.
Instantly multiple rifles light up, and it's at the cost of both TPs and crashies as well, who ends up dying through the main line. Now GX converging in position on the B fight, and it's only Alpha in Waterfall. The Viper Pit is going to spread out onto the lockdown so they can challenge this, and one by one they will break it.
Back to the lockdowns, committed with no support. Now this round, which looked like it could have been FNATIC's, has been completely turned on its head. A Chronicle, it has to go up into a 1 versus 4. And if he loses this, it's GX's map.
GX taking a huge step forwards into their hopes of champs qualification with a map win here.
Through mid that they go, Ara caught in a trap, and that being said, FNATIC well aware of this. Boaster though jumps up and gives himself away, as does Chronicle. And well, Alpha's reaction is to try and push forward, try and grab the weak arm of the push, but instead, no, it will go GX's way.
Yeah, GX win the arm wrestle. They outmuscle FNATIC on the push to A, and now setting up in post. There is plenty of space. It's back in short, both players FNATIC.
Kaajak up first, the player dubbed the Prince of Pistol, and well, he was going to have to show his royalty here if there's going to be anything.
Immediately going for the jugular. It's Ara at the forefront, Bucky in his hands this time. The wall of the Neon hasn't quite cut across the sight line, but Cron playing from the opposite side of it means that he's not in a position to challenge right now. GX free roaming onto this site and mowing down FNATIC where they stand, put into an early grave.
And FNATIC trying to flood back in.
Into the post. GX already taken up position. Ara up close with the Bucky in hand. And making sure FNATIC know it. Do not want to step in, or there will be trouble. Bodyguarding the rest, the slow retreats.
Instead, Spike will brute force their way on A. FNATIC priority placed on towards elbow. Kaajak looking to maybe just play a little bit far forward, but leaves Boaster all alone, and caught out he is. Entry found, Spike ready to go down.
Strong positioning for GX. They like to get a little more aggressive and take the extra space where needed, but they can contain FNATIC from here. There's also a trap towards short, which will make things even more difficult.
Kajak's found a little gap to work with, as well as Alfajer supporting him. An advantage in numbers for FNATIC to work with. On towards the spike they can possibly go, but Northwestside can deny, as well as Cloud. Up in a 1 versus 1 against Chronicle, and 1 bullet would be enough to wipe out the pole. GIANTX holding out hope for a 5th, and FNATIC looking to try and grab the first. Time ticking away. Chronicle needs to get a move on, but westside just crouched in the corner. One's out like
the
it's a mid. It's going to be the stage for the next fight. FNATIC actually too slow to try and get out of market, allows themselves to get picked up, but kaajak with a rifle in hand, playing from Petra.
Actually going to follow this up as the footsteps fade away. kaajak closing in.
Oh, sees the head. Does a decent bit of damage, but takes loads himself. Towards B site they go. GIANTX have the numbers to just overpower this site.
Ara low HP, but the Outlaw has the cross.
And that it does. Coaster, the player to do it right here. Right now, denied it. And GX come out.
But Ara's chasing down a completely different lane.
Oh, and Boaster, not even looking. Grubinho so deep in behind enemy lines. GX have so much space to work with.
It's that grubby double TP, the vintage move that he's made so many times. kaajak, the one player to get rooted out, but there are 4 players pushing him.
Yeah, but he has a TP to get out if he really wants to use it, and that's exactly what he opts for. Hunter's Fury fires its last bolt, and that allows the spike to go down.
4 versus 3 situation. FNATIC back in with numbers, but the health pool is barren. This Phantom from Ara could cut through them like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate that actually pushes the players away, but Ara steps up at the right time. kaajak shouting exactly where the Neon player is going, and well, he's going to be able to get more, but FNATIC straight towards the B site is the next port of call for GIANTX, but Cron not identified, back of sight, gets caught out. Alfajer at least managing to take a timing, so FNATIC can take a moment, wait for kaajak to get into position. Spike committed late.
Does end up going down. Oh, I thought so actually. Flickless drops off. It wants to go for this aggressive move.
Oh, and towards CT they go, yeah sure! But kaajak's there! Crashes as well! Information for the defense.
Such an early clear. The question being, does Alpha go past the trap? He does. It's broken now, and Chronicle's just dropping off. Ooh, doesn't want to overstay his welcome and fight it, but westside finds it regardless. Now Alpha, a little more trouble.
Yeah,
but safety to be found in main.
And that's the big point, right? Now FNATIC have a little bit of space to work with. GIANTX get the back of sight. That's where the spike's going to go down, but FNATIC make their approach from there. And Cloud and Mid can do a big job.
He's only going to get one. Feels like about the status quo in that situation as FNATIC is still floating around on this patch of land they've been able to recover on the B site. Alpha flashed in by kaajak, but takes a second step, a second guess. kaajak needing the shot, missing, still surviving.
I know exactly.
Moving into the next. GIANTX need to be careful. And then they go through Alpha with no line of sight because of the paranoia. And Ara changing his approach, but Cron doesn't look and gets caught off guard. GIANTX look to hit 8 as FNATIC cannot stop him out. Big F, because he's doing so well to just hide away from kaajak's Vandal. crashies now called in to support. They need to try and find this Cypher, but they're taking their time doing it. And that's going to play into a GIANTX favour. Taking so long, finally kaajak gets rid of them, and now the line of sight put towards sight. And with that being said, in utility and delay, this looks like this is a failed attempt. FNATIC throw in the white tilt, and GIANTX will hit 8.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up. kaajak wants to give it one more go, but will lose the rifle for his efforts. Alpha's still holding on to the op out of range. You combat it with some more aggression of your own, which you've not quite seen. kaajak could be the first semblance of that resistance. It does definitely feel like more of a retake setup, or at least one which allows FNATIC to flood towards backside. Alpha still watching overplay in middle from tiles. westside emerges into the light. And that's exactly where he will go. Sent to the heavens. Still GX playing to divide and conquer the two remaining players. It's not like they can get to one another quickly. kaajak, well, Alpha has hit the shot here. Bringing Cloud down to 3, and Dimensional Drift invested just for good measure. Spike's going to go down on the other side of the map in the meantime while all of this is happening.
Player standing.
Cloud getting 1, meaning Flickless has 4 targets to get past if GX are to secure the 9-3.
Nearly a full belt of utility. He does have 1 less flash than what he would want, but hey, 4 players coming up to him. He's basically going to have to just hope for the best.
flashed in the face. He pauses on the trigger. Flickless first, two straight through!
If they're able to have a successful defense, we'll find that out though after the break.
Last player standing.
Ready to hit in straight away. This is probably the fastest we've ever seen FNATIC actually go for an execute. As kaajak goes to backside, but GX battle weight every combatant in their area. That spike can be attempted at least.
It's because the trap wasn't broken at the very start. crashies has a little bit of space, but FNATIC want to find a jewel here.
They need to find picks as well. They need to find some semblance of safety, but they're not getting it at all. Unless Boaster's able to do it. There's also a flank and players forced out of position, but it'll have to be the captain, the leader of FNATIC.
Standing ahead.
You get cleaned up with the shortest round in the stage, then it tends to do that to you. And here's another contender. Arrow down middle, instantaneously two taken. FNATIC forced into an uncomfortable reaction as they're immediately setting their sights towards A. This is the rifle round, this is the buy, the last chance maybe to stave off GX from having an easy road to victory. But Boaster wins his, and that's a little bit more calmness now created, I say that.
crashies identifies the flank as well at least, so FNATIC have a good picture of how this round looks, but as GX come back in, that spike's not allowed to be planted.
Boaster still fighting, still on the front lines. The in-game leader and catching Ara as he whips across the screen. Grubinho still closing the distance. A shot has to be considered here by FNATIC and is. Smoke placed. Boaster inside it, stepping out, but Grubby catches him, and it has to be crashies now.
Does have one shot, but it's the info dart that's important, and that comes up in 5 seconds.
He will be given the time to bring back online. It's the shock first to just create a little bit of damage on the area of effect, and the recon to follow it up has to land, but immediately broken. Panic setting in for crashies. The peak has to come through at some point!
We have to try and disengage, but there's players getting interested. Grubby the most, as he finds Alfajer.
FNATIC still trying to fight this though, and kaajak has got one back. Now, need to escalate things a little bit. Full drop back to site and focus on short for GX.
My ult is ready.
It's only the fake, Boaster up high, Cron down low, and he's the one that actually gets the picks! And opens up this A site. Spike can go down. The last two players have to come from that B site.
About the timing, Cage giving away the audio.
Watch out! This way! Gotta go! Last player standing.
In the groups and how that one looked.
Go, go, go!
Going for now that piece from the playbook we were talking about. It's the Hunter's Fury in, and FNATIC caught sleeping to it. Dropped back in effect, trades through 3-on-3, huge duel. Grubby caught in middle, but westside to support.
One out, so they're trying to rush towards the A site. Look at Cloud, in towards Elbow, and that's what FNATIC need to find, that IGL, and he's hiding. He's able to survive just a bit longer.
Thinking about dropping back down to the drone. FNATIC still fighting.
Enemy remaining.
As it comes on to...
Through mid is where he makes his appraisal. As well, Alfajer's here. Saw something similar on Haven the other day as well from FNATIC. It seems if we are going to reach FNATIC time indeed, as we are in towards the last 35 seconds.
Players.
kaajak identifying every single one, and Boaster tapping the spike. kaajak getting the spam, bringing us somewhat into an equilibrium. Hunter's Fury invested as well. FNATIC still slow rolling the round, and crashies even getting the advantage.
But it's only a 4-on-4 and the spike is still not down.
No, it's not. It's getting too close for comfort. FNATIC finally attempt to get that spike down, but Cloud with a chance to maybe deny. Instead, it's Flickless's aftershock. A 2 versus 1 is where it settles, with both FNATIC players on short.
Flickless has been so good in these positions before, and the plant is not ideal for FNATIC.
And it's not. Flash in pocket, but there is 2 shocks that crashies can work with. First flash in, Flickless identifies kaajak and gets the kill.
Get off my
A
back.
1 versus 1 to push GX on.
You know it, Cron. Angle. He sprays away, finds nothing. FNATIC into
Oh no.
the site with Clouds. Bucky waiting at the door, and from the newsstand, he delivers them. The thought that GX might just be in it to win it here unless they can turn it around, and it's crashes again.
If there's any team to try and turn it around, it would be FNATIC, but they're positioned towards
Right
CT, and GIANTX are circling the site.
Look at Boaster up in his own smoke. Flick, the only one on the other side here. The remaining players towards Market and Main. This is the one avenue that FNATIC can look to force the issue, and when they do, it's Grubby to catch the coattails on the back line. He will bolster, and GIANTX are waiting with the guillotine to pull the rope on FNATIC's head.
On westside setup is ready, primed. Alpha trying to clear backside, has information through the Sova, and kaajak to support!
10 seconds
FNATIC keep themselves alive a bit longer. And the approach from GIANTX is disconnected.
Plant in with seconds to spare. GX still going to give this a go, though.
Flickless from CT, Grubby from Market. Taking their time to clear the angles, make sure not to get caught off guard. And when they do make their approach, FNATIC pounce. The barrel being seen by Flickless. He's trying to grab, crashes, and even nearly gets a headshot. In fact, does. Players are low here. This is doable for Flickless, but with the time ticking away, you can't help but feel this is all but a FNATIC rounds. You're just look at the positions. They don't really want to take the duels top mid. They're allowing FNATIC to scale off the back of it. Ara forced back. Cloud there to support. He's found the neon, and the players on site. kaajak gets an equilibrium. Gets something back. Chaos on the site. And Spike still to go down.
3-2, Spike just going in, bullets whizzing over the head of crashes, but from Main it's grubinho. The crunch coming in, it has to be Chronicle now.
A 1 versus 3 that he can't win. And it'll be GIANTX to knock FNATIC out in a 2-0 fashion.
Many would not believe their eyes had they seen this result coming into the playoffs, but with FNATIC having already established themselves in champs, experiments were made and lessons learned, hopefully, for them. The Kings of EMEA have been toppled, and if they want to find themselves in first place for the first